Hello everyone! Welcome to Sophisticated DIY. Have you noticed when you try to make a skirt or a pants, even if you decided to go for the elastic, that is kind of a little bit weird, like it doesn't take the shape of your doll? Well, in today's video, we are gonna solve that problem. I'm gonna show you how to insert an elastic that takes exactly the shape of your doll, and it works for big people too. So let's go. To explain how to do that, we have to make a garment. Let's make a cute skirt. I'm gonna need a square of about 16 inches by 16 inches. I'm gonna cut my material and then I'm gonna press it. And now that I have my square of fabric, I'm gonna fold it by the center and then I'm gonna fold it again so it will be in quarters. Then I'm gonna take a ruler and I'm gonna mark from the center of that square, which is one of the corners, about 4 inches. And I'm gonna keep moving my ruler and I'm gonna keep marking. Then after that, it will be the length of the skirt. You can choose the length you want. I want it very short, so I'm gonna do about 3 inches or so. So I'm gonna do the same, marking 7 inches and a half from the corner. And then now that I have my 2 arcs, I'm gonna cut it out. And now I'm gonna shape just the corner like that. This is what I have. I have 2 pieces that goes in an angle. I saw at the top, sorry, I didn't record that, but I saw the 2 pieces together. And now I'm gonna go to my serger, but I prepared the serger with the rolling hem stitch. That way it will finish nicely and in a very easy way. So I'm making the hem to the top layer, but then I'm realizing that the top layer should be a little shorter so we can see the layers, right? That's the meaning of it. So I'm cutting the first layer a little bit. I'm gonna remove that serge that I did at the beginning because it wasn't correct. Let's just pretend that I didn't do it. Okay, so now that I have my 2 layers, one shorter than the other, now is when I really am go back to my serger machine, and then I'm gonna serge both edges of my skirt. Now I'm gonna measure the hip of my doll because I wanted to make the waistband big enough that goes through the hips, but as small as I can. Her hips are about 11 inches and a half. I know now what will be the length of my waistband, but as well I need to determine what will be the width. For that, I first have to choose the elastic that I'm gonna use. So to make the waistband, as you can see, I need more or less about 3/4 inch of the waistband, and then that, of course, I have to add the seam allowance, which is 1 inch and 1/8. I multiply that by 2, so 2 inches and 1/4, and I add 1/8 of the inch. Why not? So my waistband will be 2 inches and 3/8 by 11 inches and a half, which is the doll hips plus the seam allowance. That's it. So these calculations always seemed a little messy, but it will work. So I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and I'm gonna close my waistband. But I'm not gonna close all of it. I'm gonna mark the center of my waistband because I'm gonna close just past the line I just marked. And then when I saw that line, I'm gonna lift my foot and then I'm gonna go just to the end for the seam allowance, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna close that. So my waistband will have kind of a hole there, right? And then just to make the job easier, I'm gonna make a top stitch just to make sure that my seam allowance will remain open. And now that I'm sewing, I feel like this needle is not really good. I think I need to replace that needle. It's a little bit too thick for this silk. A size 11 needle is not bad, it's good, but a size 9 or 10 probably will be a little better. So I did my other top stitch. Now is the time to sew this waistband to the skirt. As you can see, I folded as much as I needed and then just the size of the waistband, and then I pin it. And now I can sew it. As I told you before, a seam allowance of 1/4 inch of 3/8 is a good seam allowance. So now my waistband is attached to my skirt. And this is what I have, and as you can see, the hole I left, it will be inside, in the inside part. Now I'm making a fold and stitch at the other part because I'm gonna fold that again to close my waistband all around. And this is what I have until now. As you can see, it's looking cute, huh? So now I'm gonna go to my ironing board because I want to press that seam allowance so I can work better. And now what I want to do is some top stitch to separate each elastic. So for that, I'm gonna place my elastic to mark the width of it, and then I'm gonna take that measurement and I'm gonna mark that measurement all around my waistband, and I'm gonna go back to my sewing machine and I'm gonna stitch over my marks. Now is the time to mark the elastic. So I'm gonna take the measurement of the waist to mark how much the elastic will be. And of course, if I have 3 elastic, and you know, those have unrealistic bodies, so the first elastic will be, of course, it will be shorter than the second, and the second shorter than the third one. So we are going to start by inserting the biggest elastic, the one that is at the bottom. We love a waistband that actually understands curves, huh? This is what we are gonna do. My first elastic is done. Now I'm gonna go with the second one, the one in the middle. This step is where patience means elasticity. Now my 3 elastic are done, and this effect is better than Pilates. See, it's looking good. And I wanted to show you with another skirt because you might think that this looks like that because of how wavy is the skirts, but no, you can even do that with a skirt that is not that flare and it still will look good. And here you go, I'm finishing the elastic. I think I didn't show you very well with the other one, but you just have at the end to sew the elastic together, and they can go in the hole or they can stay out. It really doesn't matter. So now that we know how to do that skirt, what if we do a get ready with me? I finished the skirt as well with a nice bow that I made. This is the skirt, is looking great. It has the shape, and I'm trying on my other doll because this doll is way skinnier than the first one, and as you can see as well, the skirt looks fantastic on her. I'm putting on her the white top. She still doesn't have too many garments, but we will be working on her. These are a kind of glitter shoes that looks really good with that. And now is the time for her hair. Today we are going with a long wavy hair, and we are gonna wear a suburban turban and of course a nice glasses. Then we are gonna complete the look with some accessories, a brooch and a belt chain, and of course a nice bag. And here you go, this is all hair. She's showing everything, and look at that. If you find this video useful or entertaining, please give us a hype, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Bye!